So last thing I want to do is to give you guys an intuitive eating assessment. So I'm going to list out some more questions that you can answer either in your head, or you can feel free to jot it down if you'd like. And this will pretty much assess whether you're an intuitive eater or perhaps where you might need some work. So the first question I'm going to ask, this is a section about unconditional permission to eat. So depending on whether you answer yes or no, just think about what that might mean in terms of how you give yourself permission to eat. So the first question is, or statement is, I try to avoid certain foods high in fat, carbs, or calories. Yes or no? Number 2 is, if I'm craving a certain food, I don't allow myself to have it. Yes or no? Number 3 is, I get mad at myself for eating something unhealthy. Yes or no? Number 4 is, I have forbidden foods that I don't allow myself to eat. Number 5 is, I don't allow myself to eat what food I desire at the moment. And finally, number 6 is, I follow eating rules or diet plans that dictate what, when, and or how to eat. Yes or no? So each time you answered a yes statement in any of those questions, that might indicate an area that likely needs some work. And we'll move on to section 2. This section is eating for physical rather than emotional reasons. So answer yes or no to the following questions. I find myself eating when I'm feeling emotional, anxious, sad, or depressed, even when I'm not physically hungry. The next one is, I find myself eating when I am lonely, even when I'm not physically hungry. Number 3 is, I use food to help me soothe my negative emotions. The next question is, I find myself eating when I'm stressed out, even when I'm not physically hungry. Next is, I'm not able to cope with my negative emotions, such as anxiety and sadness, without turning to food for comfort. When I'm bored, I eat just for something to do. When I'm lonely, I turn to food for comfort. And last is, I have difficulty finding ways to cope with stress and anxiety other than eating. So in that section, every time you answered yes, that might indicate an area that might need some work as well. The next section is about reliance on internal hunger and satiety cues. So it's about trust. I trust my body to tell me when to eat. I trust my body to tell me what to eat. I trust my body to tell me how much to eat. I rely on my hunger signals to tell me when to eat. I rely on my fullness or satiety signals to tell me when to stop eating. And last one, I trust my body when to stop eating. So anytime in that section you answered no, that might indicate an area that might need some work too. And the last 3 questions in section 4 is body food choice congruence. So the first one is, most of the time I desire to eat nutritious foods. Yes or no? Next is I mostly eat foods that make my body perform efficiently or well. And the last one is I mostly eat foods that give my body energy and stamina. So each time you might have answered no in that area indicates a place where you might need some extra work as well. So that was the intuitive eating assessment scale that you can use to gather where you might need to get started or which areas that you might need to work on more than others.